So I would like to invite now Nune, Tigran, Maya, and Aris to talk about cheating and trust in relationships. So trust, one of the cornerstones in relationships, is of a paradoxical nature. It is hard to build and easy to break. The presenters will focus on the impact that cheating has on decreasing trust levels in relationships and other issues relating to the case. So you can start now.
Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you all for joining the conference. Thank you all for joining us with this conference. We're very excited to present our topic, which is trust in personal relationships. Our group members, Maya, Nune, Tigran, and I, Alice, we decided to focus on infidelity because it's such an important topic and issue in so many relationships. So this is the table of content of today's presentation. We have a very short introduction, and we're going to describe our situation and then move on to the diagnosis and the key factors. And then we're going to continue with some of the consequences of trust problems and conclude by proposing some solutions and actions. So first of all, what is trust in a relationship? Research shows that trust in a relationship means having a sense of security and having some sort of loyalty towards your partner. It also means that you believe that your partner will do everything they can and will do the best of their abilities to meet what you expect of them, no matter how big or small those expectations may be. And trust in relationships also mean that you believe that your partner will go beyond acting out of only their own self-interest, but they will also keep your needs and your interests in mind as well. So moving on to trust and infidelity. So relationships on their own are already very complicated because there are so many factors to consider and take into account, but adding infidelity into that situation makes it a lot more complicated and difficult. So infidelity is one of the biggest issues in a relationship, which we found during our research, and that is because it is one of those factors that instantly breaks the trust in a relationship, which takes so long to build in the first place. So there are a few stages of building and breaking trust in a relationship when there is infidelity involved. The first stage is where the couple is just getting to know one another and they're trying to build the trust to set a strong foundation for the relationship. The second stage is where the infidelity takes place, and that causes the trust to instantly break, which again took so long to build. The third stage is the resentment or the forgiveness stage, which is where the couple tries to talk to one another and understand what they want to do for the next stage. And the fourth stage is moving on, where there are three possible outcomes. First, the couple may decide to build trust again, work on the relationship and continue in that relationship. The second outcome is where the couple decides to stay together, but not because of trust, because of other factors which may contribute to that decision, which can include children or financial issues and so on. And the fourth outcome is that the couple is unable to build that trust again and they don't have other factors that contribute to that relationship, so they go on their separate ways. So now we have a video by a psychotherapist, Esther Perel, who is a very...
We have a romantic
it's okay.
ideal in which we turn to one person to fulfill an endless list of needs, to be my greatest lover, my best friend, the best parent, my trusted confidant, my emotional companion, my intellectual equal. And I am it. I'm chosen, I'm unique, I'm indispensable, I'm irreplaceable, I'm the one. And infidelity tells me I'm not. It is the ultimate betrayal. Infidelity shatters the grand ambition of love. But if throughout history, infidelity has always been painful, today it is often traumatic because it threatens our sense of self. So my patient Fernando, he's plagued. He goes on, I thought I knew my life. I thought I knew who you were, who we were as a couple, who I was. Now I question everything. Infidelity, a violation of trust, a crisis of identity. Can I ever trust you again, he asks. Can I ever trust anyone again?
So now we want to talk a little bit about importance of trust in relationships. So trust is plays a vital role in a relationship because it promotes positivity. So promoting positivity means that it makes the people in the relationship more caring and more considerate about the other. Also, when you are in a relationship, you have a positive view about the relationship, and both people in the relationship know each other that well and know each other's shortcomings, which makes it easier for them to be in the relationship and try to go over everything and help each other. After that, we have to know that trust in relationship reduces conflict, which means that it can help us not just reduce conflict, but it can help the people in the relationship navigate the conflict, work together, come up with solutions, know each other more than help each other. After that, trust can make you closer to your partner, which means that the more you trust someone, the more closer you are. And the people in the relationship, being close with each other, they can have a very calm sense about the relationship, and their nervous system calms down and rests and resets, and this will always lead to positive things happening in the relationship. So we have throughout the research, it shows that marriages nowadays, only 50% of them are surviving. The other 50% are ending in separations or divorce. And one of the biggest causes of distrust here is infidelity and cheating. And cheating can leave both partners feeling confused, angry, and very grief-stricken in the marriage. And here are some important numbers to see. According to APA, infidelity in the United States accounted for 20 to 40% of divorces, which is very high. And also the NIH, the National Institutes of Health, did survey on couples, and 88%, one of 88% of the couples studied cited that infidelity is a major contributing factor. The vast majority of the couples in the NIH study who divorced only had one partner share that infidelity is a major issue. That showed that only one person in the relationship, if they think of infidelity as a big issue, it can be a reason of crumbling the relationship.
So now we have important factors that either lead to lack of trust and then cause infidelity, or the other way around. These factors can lead to infidelity, which can then lead to lack of trust. So the first and one of the most significant ones is communication. Communication acts like the glue in a relationship. So it's very important to have timely and relevant sharing of information with your significant other to prevent some consequences. And the second factor we have is opportunistic behavior. Research shows that a lot of lack of trust and infidelity happens because of opportunistic behavior, which is when one of the individuals in the relationship acts out of their own self-interest and doesn't really think about the other's needs and what they might feel.
Third is priorities. Both people in the relationship need to have certain understanding about their priorities and how they prioritize things in their lives. So when one person in the relationship prioritizes the other more, the other feels like they are being suffocated by their partner. And when the other doesn't prioritize them enough, it makes the other feel like they are neglected by their partner, and they don't know what's happening, and they don't feel the love that their partner has for them. And then the fourth one is shared values, because human beings tend to gravitate towards people who they share values with. So when they feel like the value of the person in front of them and that's in the relationship with them is shifting a bit, that can be a huge component in the crumbling of their relationship.
So now we have a list of consequences that may occur after infidelity and lack of trust. This doesn't necessarily mean that every couple that goes through infidelity and lack of trust experiences these consequences, but this is just a very general list we found during research. And one of the most common ones is feelings of loneliness and isolation, which is very obvious, because when you're so used to someone being next to you all the time and then they suddenly betray you, you can't help but feel lonely and isolated. Emotional and physical distress is another important one. Partners who cheated also can feel a lot of guilt and regret in that relationship. We also have another set of consequences, but based on other people, such as family members and children. They can go through a lot of sadness and anger, and they can also lose trust and respect towards their parents, especially to both of them, the ones who had the affair and the ones who had been cheated on. And of course, the relationship can also suffer tremendously, because it can there can be a lack of intimacy, negative emotions, financial issues, and so on.
So here are some set of recommendations to having trust again in the relationship and rebuilding it. First of all, the partners should have to admit to each other and explain why the infidelity happens. One must remember that infidelity doesn't happen out of the blue. There must be something missing and something bothering the one person in the relationship, or both of them are responsible in some way that leads to one of them cheating or infidelity happening. And also the only way to overcome them is by owning up to them and taking responsibility to the situation that happens. Both people should take responsibility, and we have to remember that infidelity doesn't have one way. There are many ways the person can cheat on the other. There are online cheatings, there are sexual cheatings, and there are also emotional cheatings that happen in relationships. It just comes back to the interpretation that a person has about cheating and the definition that they give to cheating. After that, we know that communication is very important in any relationship, but especially in this kind of relationship, a love relationship. And communication, we can't say all day that people should communicate with each other, but if the communication is not honest and not pure, then it won't have any effect in rebuilding trust. So honest communication can happen when both people are timely, flexible, patient, and accepting. And this doesn't come from only one person in the relationship. Both of them should work on this and should keep the communication honest if they really want this relationship to last. And after that, some people need to start from the beginning. That means that talking to each other, saying new things to each other, experiencing new things to each other, and sharing new things with each other, having experiences, doing things that they might have never done before, so that they will have new memories and create new things together, and this will help them to rebuild trust. So in conclusion, just a reminder that it takes two to tango. Not one person is responsible in a relationship. Both people should have the equal responsibility, and if they really want to maintain their relationship, they have to work hard to keep it. And even though not every relationship is the same, they are all dyadic processes, and each people influence the other, and nothing is black and white, nothing is a straight road. And if a relationship is going to succeed, it's going to need a lot of work. And thank you. If you have any questions.